Morning, it's Monday. Welcome back to another behind the scenes weekly vlog. For those of you that are new, my name is Charlie and I do real raw travel. None of this you see on Instagram. I like to show you how it really is when you go traveling. And I don't see why my behind the scenes should be any different. So I am showing you how I edit, how I run a YouTube channel, what equipment I use. And on that note, this week, that is what we are going into. All things camera, equipment, everything related. So grab a cup of tea, get comfy, and let's get started. Yes, I drink a lot of tea. I'm British.
It's a little cappuccino. One drop or two. Would you like another one? Oh, there you go.
So you think you were right? Bring it on, prove me.
Oh my god, it's 1 o'clock and I am so behind. This week's weekly vlog is not even actually finished yet. I'm doing a final run through now just to double check I haven't made any massive mistakes. Then I have to export it, then I have to upload it. And our internet speed out in the middle of the nowhere, out in the middle of nowhere in the countryside is like a glacier. I don't know if this is gonna be done in time. We are so up against it today. And I have so much visa stuff to do. I have to call the agency and get loads of information. I'm a bit stressed out, I'm not gonna lie. It's 3 o'clock, I'm finally exporting the behind the scenes. I'm so hungry, I'm gonna go make some lunch.
Go put up a fight.
It's gonna be one of those days where I eat all my meals at my desk. Finally, it's finished. Now I can upload it to YouTube and just hope it doesn't take too long.
You know there's an ocean between us. Don't cry about it.
Uploading. It says it's gonna take 3 hours. Right, it's barely light out there, but I've got about an hour. I'm just gonna go for a quick run, kind of in the dark. This is not ideal. Okay, it looks way better on camera because this camera's pretty good in low light, but it's getting pretty dark. I think I'm gonna have to listen to some serious motivation music. It's probably gonna be some Greatest Showman. Well, they're not clean anymore. Right, let's go and see if it's uploaded. Oh, come on. Seriously? It's 5:30. It's gonna be late today. Oopsie. Every time I click that button, I panic a little bit. It doesn't get any easier to press publish on your work. Wow, it has been one hell of a day. It's 11:20 at night. What happened there? Where did it go? Monday's done. I basically had a bath, replied to comments, did a bit more work, and by the time all this had happened, it was about 10:30. Tomorrow, we are gonna get well and truly stuck in to camera equipment. I am gonna give you loads of information about everything I use, little tips, etc, organizational stuff, everything. Morning, guys. Oh, it's about 6:30. I'm doing my Instagram post. The Me and My episode will be coming out on Friday. Well, will have come out on Friday when you see this, so I'm starting to do some promo for that. I woke up to quite a few new subscriptions. I say quite a few, like 10, and it has just made me really excited because it just means so much when you put this much effort into making travel films, etc. I do it for me. I just want to share my stories and I just want to help inspire people to get out there and adventure, you know, in a real way. So it just means the world to me when people are getting behind it and like it. I know it's not all about subscriptions. I know it's not just a popularity contest.
We want to invite you to have lunch with us every day for the rest of the week. Oh, it's okay. Coolness. So we'll see you tomorrow.
It means a lot. Oh my good god. What's going on here? I had a bath last night. Yeah, my hair goes really wild overnight for some reason. I am gonna finish doing this Instagram post, get up, get a cup of tea, and then we have got lots of exciting tech stuff to get into. So you like the weekly vlog?
Yeah, it's good. But it's really easy to watch, you know, it's really like comforting kind of, you know.
Aww. Okay, I'm going to show you exactly what I use to film my travels. Ooh. In this series, oh my god, this is ridiculous. Just jokes. Ah. This is the heaviest rig I've ever encountered. Is it actually rolling?
Yeah, of course.
Ooh, it's really nice.
It's quite an elaborate rig.
Elaborate, that's an understatement and a half. 3 lights, the actual camera, and a GoPro.
Welcome to the Scorpion rig.
The Scorpion rig that Henry just designed.
Light to one side and the other side. So a nice little side beauty light, and then we've got an eye light up there. So perfect for fashion on the go, as long as you've got a cameraman willing to lug this around.
Perfect for fashion on the go. Brilliant, because obviously I do fashion on the go.
In my series, we use bigger rigs.
Slight problem getting through
Doors.
Outside rig, not inside.
Not outside voices.
This is working out for the day.
That is one heavy rig.
Should we weigh it quickly? Just weigh it. Oh, 8 kilograms. It's actually
8 kilograms. Okay, enough of that ridiculousness. Obviously, I do not film with a rig like that. So I have 3 cameras. I have the camera. Okay, stop right there. This is me from the future.
I'm from the future.
It's now Friday. I started editing and realised that it did not have enough energy, it wasn't big enough, and I was really waffly. So I'm just gonna do it again. You may also notice that I now have shorter hair. That's still to come in the story. Before we get started, I just want to say that technology moves so fast, and footage that you shot maybe 2 or 3 years ago can't compete with the latest cameras. However, there is a tendency to get caught up in camera equipment and forget that when it comes down to it, it's actually about the story. Now, don't get me wrong, because the 2019 travel YouTube game is fierce. Whereas before you could get away with maybe not the best quality as long as you've got a good story, it's not the case anymore. These days you have to have the story, but you also have to have really nice B-roll as well. Before we get into the equipment that I use, I just want to mention that travel filming is fast. It's really fast paced, and you don't get a second attempt at filming something. So you have to be very comfortable with the equipment you have and be confident that you can get that shot in the moment, because you don't get another attempt at it. Also, another crucial point is that whatever equipment you have, it has to work for you. For example, I'm only 5 foot tall, I'm only tiny. I can't hold out a massive Joby GorillaPod with a DSLR camera on it. I literally can't hold this up. I have the upper body strength of a small kitten. As my friend Nick from Indigo Traveller says, the most important thing is that the equipment you have works for you.
Simplicity is key. The less gear you have, the better. You want to have the least, for a travel vlogger at least. As long as it's good quality, compact, small gear, you have a few great tools, that's all you need.
Without further ado, let's go through the equipment that I use. Just to let you know, everything I'm about to mention is linked in the description box down below. This is my equipment. As you can see, there's not too much of it. So I shoot with 3 different cameras and they all have very different roles. The first one is my Canon G7X, and this is my vlogging camera. So I do all my pieces to camera with this, mainly because it is quick, I don't have to do any settings, I can just get the story there and then. Because I find that if I'm using a slightly larger one, which is the one I'm filming on right now, which involves lenses and settings and microphones, etc, I often miss the story. So what I do is I use my big camera, which is a LUMIX G80. And this camera I use to get all of my really nice B-roll, and I can shoot in 60 frames per second so that I can get some nice slow motion on it as well. The third camera that I use is the trusty GoPro, and that's obviously for any action, for bike rides, any water activities, if you are ziplining through the jungle in Thailand, etc. This is the perfect camera for that. Everything else is just a few accessories to go with those cameras. So the camera that I'm filming this on has a few bits and bobs that go with it. Obviously the batteries and charger. I keep it in a case, everything just fits in there, so I keep my batteries and everything together with it. This little handy gadget is amazing. I don't really know what to call it, but you put the camera in it and it just velcros shut like this, and it's just like a little protection for it. So it's really easy to just chuck this in my rucksack. My brother will kill me for saying that. It means that I can just get the camera out quickly, which is what it's all about when it comes to travel filming. I also have 2 microphones that I use. This one, which is just a shotgun directional one, so it's good for sound coming from the front. And then this one is what I mainly use because this picks up sound from everywhere around. And then both of these microphones have their own dead cats that just fit on them, and that's to help with the wind when you're outside. Just to point out here, this kit that I'm going through has actually taken me a good couple of years to get to grips with what works and what doesn't, and what I use and what I don't. So for instance, we're now going to get into GoPro and GoPro accessories, and it can be a little bit confusing because there are so many accessories available for the GoPro, and let's be honest, you really don't need a lot of them. Like for example, the head strap for the GoPro, except that I very rarely use it, mainly because I look like this. Enough said. Some essentials that you definitely need for your GoPro. Everyone needs a selfie stick if you want to get those really nice high-angle selfie photos in great locations. I just have a standard extendable pole. I put adapters on the end of it like this so that I can twist it and rotate it any way that I want. And then, you know, there you go, you've got your selfie pole. This one is not floaty. However, I just don't let go of it when I go in the water. I just make sure it's attached to me. And if I do drop it, well, Tom will just dive down to the bottom and go and collect it for me. Two other essentials for the GoPro are the super suit, because if you're going diving, you really need to have it in an actual suit, and its little case so that you can actually attach it to things, because if you have never seen a GoPro before, it doesn't have like anything to attach it to a tripod, so you put it in a little case. And that leads me on to the tripods that I use. I normally have 3 with me. I have 2 of the small Joby Gorilla Pods because I'm constantly attaching things to trees or to the rails of a jetty to get a sunset, etc, etc. And the tripod that this camera is on at the moment, which is a very, very lightweight, I don't know what it is. It's the Manfrotto. This one came free with some camera kit, I think, and it's the most amazing tripod because it is so light, it's unbelievable. A top tip here. Label up all of your cables. It makes it so much easier when you are rummaging around. All the cables are black and they're all the same, and you can just pull out exactly the one you need. Really easy to do. Just get a bit of camera tape, label them up. The aim of the game is efficiency. It makes life a lot easier. On that note, label up all your GoPro equipment because everyone seems to have a GoPro these days. So you want to put a label on every accessory and every battery so that when there's 15 GoPros lined up, you'll know which one is yours. I also label up all of my accessories, so I put everything in little bags, just again to make it easier. I put all of my camera equipment into these little bags. It's like the equivalent of like a kit packing cube. One thing I forgot to mention was this little microphone muff that I have on top of the Canon, which really helps when it's windy. I definitely recommend that if you have this camera that you get one of these. It makes the sound so much better. Another little thing that I use, which I forgot to tell you about, is this little GoPro tripod. As you'll probably know that if you've used a GoPro before, when it's in its case, it doesn't sit flush, so you can't just quickly put it on the ground like that and film something. So this is really helpful because it means you can just quickly shoot something and it just has a little base, so it makes it much easier. One final thing. I forgot to show you my very, very sophisticated GoPro holder. A sock. Yes. I literally put my GoPro in a sock and carry it around like that. I mean, what else do you need really? I have one last top tip for you, which might seem obvious. Practice with all your equipment before you go away. You'd be surprised how many people get to some amazing location, suddenly realise they're not really sure how to use the settings on their camera. And you know what? I did this. I hadn't a clue how to use my GoPro because they are a little bit tricky. You have to know the combination of buttons to get it right.
I think we missed every sea lion on film, so I think I just filmed the sea.
Back in 2016, I went shark diving for the first time, and I honestly had no idea how I was filming. Yeah, it was all a bit of a shambles. And that's not a good idea when you're doing something as awesome as going diving with great white sharks.
Like here, where I end up filming the cage instead of the shark because I didn't know my GoPro angles properly.
You want to be confident that you know your settings and that you're going to get the footage you want. I know it sounds obvious, but
bloomin' practice with the kit before you get into a scenario where you're at the Great Wall of China and all your settings are wrong on your camera. So that is about it for my camera gear. And I think that this is a good point to say that it's not really about having loads of fancy cameras. It's about telling a story.
You can have all the fanciest gear in the world and it's not gonna make you happier, and it's not necessarily gonna make your videos better either. It might make them worse actually. And that's been a hard lesson to learn, because you always think, oh, I want the best, I need more camera gear.
I hope that was helpful for you. Oh my goodness, I'm not gonna lie, I'm feeling a bit frazzled today. There was a lot of filming. I promised I would be real and honest with you guys, and shooting stuff like that kind of gives me a bit of anxiety because so many people do it, you know, and I just feel like, is mine gonna be good enough? It's almost 5 o'clock. After the last 3 days of doing solid editing, when I say solid, I mean an absolute minimum of 12 hours. I'm just gonna go through some Epidemic Sound stuff and pull out some tracks for the next week's behind the scenes, then see how I feel. I think I'm gonna call it a night. I quite fancy watching a movie. Ooh, what movie am I gonna watch tonight? That is one of the tricky things I find about being freelance, is just learning when to just actually stop, because there's no real set hours and there is this tendency to just keep on working and keep on working, and it becomes unproductive at one point, you know, especially when you're doing creative stuff. So you have to just stop and come back to it. So that is what I think I'm going to do, because I am not having a lot of luck trying to find some music right now. Oh, it's game over. I get really fed up of trawling through Netflix, so I've decided to go through my DVD collections instead and pick out something to watch. I just don't know what yet. Ooh, Indiana Jones, that'd be a good option. I think I'm gonna choose Up in the Air. It's one of my faves.
Was made for you and me.
I'm making a scarf. It's a little scarf at the moment. I just wanted to make something, you know? Make something with my hands. Tom is always making knives and making didgeridoos and creating stuff. And I don't do any of that. I don't make anything. So I thought, you know what? I can learn how to knit, and I can knit whilst I'm doing other things as well. So again, multitasking. This is my first ever attempt at knitting. I don't know how well it's going, but it's nice and soft.
How much did they first pay you to give up on your dreams?
27 grand a year.
And when were you going to stop and come back and do what makes you happy? I see guys who work at the same company for their entire lives, guys exactly like you. They clock in, they clock out, and they never have a moment of happiness.
That scene. Today has been a really productive day. I'm just about to go to bed. I have written my to-do list for tomorrow in my planner. If you haven't seen one of my earlier behind the scenes, I got myself a planner.
I decided to get a grip on my life and start a diary,
so that I could just keep all my notes and keep everything I write together in one place, because I was writing things down on bits of paper, on my desk, on notebooks around the house, in the notes on my phone, and it just was all a bit out of hand and I wasn't really paying attention to anything I'd written down. So I've decided to keep it all together in one place. I always have this next to me when I go to sleep, because then if I come up with anything during the night, I can just quickly write it down. Well, I say during the night. I very rarely wake up in the night and write something down. I mean just before I go to bed. And that helps, you know, empty my brain. It means if I just come up with an idea or need to write something down, it's just goes in the planner and then I don't have to think about it again. And it's just more efficient, you know? So anyway, enough of me waffling. I'm gonna go to sleep. Good morning. Right, we have a problem. This backpack, it's just not gonna work. The straps, they're just too structured and not fitted properly. I mean, look at this. Plus, it looks way too like a school backpack. I think there's just too much structure in it. It's not really me, but we have a solution. If I can just get out of it. I found a new one. Ta-da! So it's kind of similar. It doesn't have the same sort of easy access slidey slot like the other one did, but it does have a separate camera compartment. Let me show you. So it has a separate compartment. So this bit is your day pack scenario, and this bit is the camera bit. It also has a really solid bottom to it. This is good for me because I always chuck my rucksack on the floor everywhere. Laptop goes in there. This one's better. I think this is more me. So we're sending this one back. This morning I have exported the Myanmar episode. I'm going to double check that before I upload it to YouTube. I was doing the washing up and I stumbled across a video called Inside the Mind of a Master Procrastinator.
I wanted to explain to the non-procrastinators of the world what goes on in the heads of procrastinators and why we are the way we are. Now, I had a hypothesis that the brains of procrastinators were actually different than the brains of other people. And to test this, I found an MRI lab that actually let me scan both my brain and the brain of a proven non-procrastinator, and so I could compare them, and I actually brought them here to show you today, and I want you to take a look carefully to see if you can notice a difference. And I know that if you're not a trained brain expert, it's not that obvious, but just take a look, okay? So here's the brain of a non-procrastinator. Now, here's my brain.
This video was one of the best TED Talks I have listened to in a long time. And it's a TED Talk by Tim Urban, who, if you've not heard of before, has a blog called Wait But Why. Let me just show you a little bit so I can explain why.
Now, what does this mean for the procrastinator? Well, it means everything's fine until this happens. So the rational decision maker will make the rational decision to do something productive, but the monkey doesn't like that plan. So he actually takes the wheel and he says, actually, let's read the entire Wikipedia page of the Nancy Kerrigan-Tanya Harding scandal because I just remembered that happened. After that, we're going to go on a YouTube spiral that starts with videos of Richard Feynman talking about magnets and ends much, much later with us watching interviews with Justin Bieber's mom.
See, this is funny. Who can't relate to that?
That the procrastinator has a guardian angel, someone who's always looking down on him and watching over him in his darkest moments, someone called the panic monster. Now, the panic monster is dormant most of the time, but he suddenly wakes up anytime a deadline gets too close.
I loved it so much that I actually wanted to watch it again straight away, and I showed it to my family and we all actually sat and ate our breakfast and watched it, and it's really funny. But there's one particular point in it that really speaks to me.
So if you want to have a career where you want to be a self-starter, something in the arts, something entrepreneurial, there's no deadlines on those things at first, because nothing's happening at first, not until you've gone out and done the hard work to get some momentum, to get things going. Now, if the procrastinator's only mechanism of doing these hard things is the panic monster, that's a problem, because in all of these non-deadline situations, the panic monster doesn't show up.
Basically, up to this point on my channel, I had just been releasing things when they were ready and when they were done. But that doesn't force you to go very fast, and it doesn't create that momentum and that structure. So in forcing myself to have a deadline, oh my goodness, it has basically upped my productivity and upped my purpose for doing things so much, and I can't recommend it enough. So basically the point of what I'm saying is that if you are trying to do something for yourself, whether it be creative writing, painting, learning an instrument, whatever really, you have to create some sort of deadlines for yourself, otherwise you just don't do it. Well, that's how I feel anyway. I need that pressure, which is why I've told all of you that I am releasing behind the scenes every week, because I have to get it done. And in doing that, I'm also having to make more progress on all my other work, etc. And I'm just becoming a lot more focused, I think. This is also the reason that when I get up in the morning, I go straight to my desk, because otherwise there is just too much room for procrastination. If I get straight to my desk, it sets the ball rolling for the rest of the day, and it's like go, go, go. So that's the secret. Start straight away. Get up early and start straight away, which is why I get up at 6:30, if not earlier, and start work, because it sets the whole day up. It's almost 6 o'clock. I've just spent over an hour doing the thumbnail for the Myanmar episode. I sent it to a couple of my friends, and they all picked this one. And then I sent it to a couple of my YouTube friends and they all immediately said, definitely not that one. How about this one? I have just started uploading the Me and My episode. It's 50 minutes long. It's 7 gig, so it's gonna take a good like 4 hours, I think, at our internet speed to upload. Basically means you can't really do much else on the internet right now because that slows everything down. Tomorrow and Friday are going to be kind of busy days with other stuff. I've got quite a lot of admin going on. You probably can't see very well, but I have the worst roots ever and it's a little bit straggly. There's lots of bits and bobs that mean I can't be at my computer. Oh, looking fantastic. Good morning, it's Thursday. This morning I've got to get a little bit of work done for a client and then I've got loads of running around to do today, so it's gonna be a bit hectic, but what I really wanna do is start on the second Me and Ma episode, but we'll see how that goes. I'm back, I've done all my errands. Ugh, got a hair in my lunch. So I'm just having some lunch, watching some YouTube. I'm feeling a bit, I don't know what the word is, just unmotivated, I guess. I suddenly thought, this is the point where normally I would just go, oh, I'm just gonna get on with a few client bits, but I can't be bothered to do any actual editing today. I don't really feel like it, you know. But because I have made myself accountable, I don't have that option anymore. I have to get it done because I'm too busy for the next few days. I've got so many things booked in that if I don't start cutting some of the stuff this afternoon, it won't be done in time, so I just have to. I have given myself a deadline, and that is the important thing. Without that, I don't feel like you're gonna get anywhere, you know? Anyway, I'm gonna finish eating my lunch. I'm having some gnocchi with tomato sauce, which is bad. I don't normally do this. Normally I eat good things for lunch, but I was just feeling a bit like I needed something a bit comforting. I'm eating my feelings.
Go put up a fight.
I'm just not in the mood to create anything. I think this afternoon is gonna be a struggle to get going. It has not been a very productive day, but sometimes that just happens. Anyway, it's my turn to make dinner, and today I am doing homemade pizza, my favorite. Let me put you down. Ugh, and put you straight. There we go. Does anyone else have this? So I have this recipe book that I had full intention of sticking all the recipes in, but instead I just have this whole mess of cards that have never actually been stuck in. Let's find the pizza recipe.
The where do will knock you down.
Pizza! Okay, you've got to clean the surface down properly because this is a very hands-on process. My mum didn't want to ruin my shot, so she got on her hands and knees and crawled underneath. Oh, my family is so supportive. I'm going to put an apron on because this can get a little bit messy. I think it's good. We just need to leave this to prove for a bit. I can just not get myself together today at all. I've decided that the instant gratification monkey has well and truly taken over today, which doesn't normally happen and hasn't happened for like 2.5 weeks. But today, what is wrong with me? I can't function. I don't know what's wrong with me at all. Gotta take my brother into town in about an hour anyway, and then the dough will be ready in about an hour and a half, 2 hours, so. Oh man, seriously? The secret to a really good pizza base is put your sauce on and then cook it for like 5 minutes before you then put your toppings on. That was Tom's idea and it worked a treat. Pizza toppings done. That's so good. Pizza's a food group, right? Okay, it's Friday. I totally got distracted editing and I'm totally late. I've got my smoothie to go and I've got a haircut and I can't open the door with... There we go. Oh my god, I'm so late. I also don't know where I'm going. Ah! I'm probably the only person in the entire world that has one of these old school sat navs. Mainly because in my car I don't have a little thing like holder to put my phone on yet. Right, gotta go. Okay, so I made it to my hair appointment just in time and I forgot that I should do like a before and after. Not that anyone really cares what my hair looked like, but ta-da. Okay, so this here is what we need sorting out. So this is what it looks like now. Jeez, today has been chaotic. Oh god, let's pull the chair in. I had to reshoot everything I basically shot on, I don't know, was it Monday or Tuesday? Let me turn my phone off. Then I got my hair cut and coloured. See? So at least that looks a little bit better. I'm happy with that now. I have just uploaded the Myanmar episode, which has taken me months to put together. So I'm now kind of manning that at the moment and responding to comments, etc, etc. I need to book my flights to Australia, so I need to just get hold of Tom and check that the dates are okay. I was just sending some more visa paperwork over to the agency. Yeah, it's been totally manic today. Like, I haven't stopped. So now it's time for a Baileys. It's a Baileys and coffee liqueur. Yeah, it's Friday night. I just want to chill, but I now have to really get stuck into the weekly behind the scenes because otherwise there's no way that is going to be done. Friday night, sitting editing with a Baileys. I am so rock and roll, it's unbelievable. Really? I just booked my flights to see Tom! Oh my god, I'm so excited. I mean, it's still a month away, but I'm so excited. Oh dear. Anyway, and breathe. It's 9:30. I'm gonna go and eat some dinner. I'm blooming starving. Oh, it's been a hectic day. I'm so hyped though, because yesterday was like, oh.
So just try and relax.
On go slow, and today has been... And I'm getting really good feedback on the Myanmar episode, so that's really exciting too. I totally love it when people comment and say they're enjoying it because it makes it all worthwhile, you know? It's 11:30, I'm gonna go to bed. And all I'm gonna say is tomorrow is gonna be interesting. I'm gonna have to edit like the wind to get everything done, which I'm not very good at doing. Oh, good morning, it's Saturday. I had a pretty crap night's sleep because it's really windy outside and something is banging against the wall that a light sensor has fallen off and it's just like bang, 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 and it keeps waking me up. I'm treating myself to eggs for breakfast. Then we have a lot of work to do. I should not be in bed at 8:30. Oopsie! It's Saturday though! Seriously! Oh. It's pretty windy out there. Things are not going the most smoothly today. I had my eggs, but then because of the wind, we had a power cut. If you have seen my Christmas special, you will know what I'm talking about when I say the word house clothes that do not go together. Today I am rocking some Christmas leggings and then a thermal top and then a random kind of baby pink jumper. Yes, this is the scenario for Saturday. But it's my house clothes and I feel comfortable. So yeah, that's just how I roll. I have a house clothes policy. As soon as I get in the house, comfy clothes go on. It's normally pajamas, to be honest. This is not too far away from pajamas. Christmas leggings. Seriously. Anyway, I think we're back in business. So I will see you in about 8 hours.
Mr. Hammond, I think we're back in business.
It's now 9 o'clock at night. See, I told you I'd see you in about 8 hours time. We just had some delicious mussels as a little starter, a little treat. My family, we all sat around and had some mussels, so that was amazing. I'm having a piece of salmon in a minute. And yeah, I think I'm just done for the day. I'm nowhere near finished, but I can't really sit there any longer. My brain is frazzled, so it's game over. We're gonna have to just complete it tomorrow. Except I've got no time to do it tomorrow because I have to be an extra in Henry's movie. The panic monster is about to emerge, I think. Okay, today's an interesting one because I've been roped into being a supporting artist for the movie that my brother is shooting. There's a lot of waiting around on film sets. I brought my editing with me. I'm doing some Iceland because I didn't need my big hard drives for that. Oh, Henry's on film, look at this. That's my little brother on the screen behind me. He's not actually in the movie, he's the cameraman obviously, but I think he's just lining up some shots.
Similar frame to the last one, I think. Yeah. If we could do it, okay, right.
I think I've been cut from the scene. Apparently only my legs are in. Are we on time, Henry?
We're alright. It's just getting to this first bit. This first bit done.
Look at this. First ADing, eh?
Yeah, I'm not going to make a habit.
Go put up a fight. The where do will knock you down. You know there's an ocean between us.
We're not doing too badly actually, time-wise. I'm in the shot but obviously
this is background acting 101. When you're in the background and you have to pretend you're doing conversation, you say walla. 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 That's what you do. We just got back from filming, so I am gonna chill out, have some roast dinner, watch the BAFTAs. Thank you so much for watching this behind the scenes. I hope that you found it useful seeing all the equipment that I use. And I have something important I need to say. I was thinking about what theme I was gonna do for next week, and I was looking at my schedule and I suddenly realized I have a lot of visa paperwork to do and some very boring stuff that actually is not gonna be interesting for you guys. So I've decided that in the interest of not making content for the sake of making content, which you know I hate, I'm going to take 1 week off from behind the scenes and resume in 2 weeks time effectively. Next week there won't be a behind the scenes, but the week after there will be. So stay tuned because there is lots of stuff still to come and it's going to be exciting. But not quite as exciting as the Meme Mart episode. Thank you so much to everyone that has watched this. It got like 600 views in just 2 days, which is mind-blowing for me because it normally takes me a month to get that many views. So thank you so much to everyone that's watched it. I really, really appreciate it because I really put my heart and soul into making that episode. And it just makes it even more worthwhile when everyone watches it and really likes it. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Anyway, again, thank you for watching and I will see you in 2 weeks. Bye!